Peace and love, baby. Peace and love. Kachi Rock coming at you with another video. And I am going to break down the whole submission talk. You know, that submission, Hebrew Israelites love submission. And they say submission is talking about, for the woman, you got to cover your hair up. You got to look very lowly towards your man, because he is going to be representing the whole family and the knowledge. He brings the knowledge to the table. But then from her, she brings that whatever she was taught by the man to the kids. That's the whole submission thing. And that's what taught in the Hebrew Bible. So, and then also, you know, the Abrahamic religion, of course, Christianity, they teach the same thing, but they don't. The women don't cover up. But you know, there are some people that still have issues with the woman talking or teaching. That's another form of her submitting to the man teaching. She has to submit to all authority of a man. That's the whole Abrahamic religion. And then, of course, you got the Muslims, the Quran, and you know how that is with the woman. So, submitting, they take it to a physical level and forget about the spiritual level. Because remember, nothing profits the flesh don't profit the spirit. And the spirit and the flesh fights one another all the time. They never are in a tangle, in a, what am I trying to say? They always fighting like husband and wife, so you know, always nitpicking, whatever. They always at each other's throat. So, and that's the funny thing. So, you get the spirit and you get the flesh. And I always say, the Old Testament talks about the flesh. The New Testament talks about the spirit. And it's all metaphysical, of course. And deep within. But it's supposed to teach you how to combat, how to conquer your flesh, so your spirit can be aligned properly. But you don't supposed to just focus solely on the spirit. Then you don't supposed to focus solely on the flesh. You do have to have some sort of a balance. But that's where the whole loss of submission is. It gets lost. But as far as the Hebrew Bible and telling a woman she must cover her head because she's not the head. She's the tail. And all this junk, it don't make sense at all. A lot of that is, and I'm going to explain what this is. So let's go ahead first and say, what is submission? I got my notebook. I was writing this down, researching, and what I was going to say. Excuse me. So, hopefully you can hear my music. I'm trying to keep this interesting as possible. Have some type of music playing as I talk. Some meditation music. Alright, so what is submission? You know, submission is basically you yielding to a superior force. Alright? Or to accept. Now, A Christian's viewpoint of submission will be obedience. Okay. So when I think of submit, I think of accepting, as far as what a woman and a man submission really is. Accepting, or as a acception of one person energy. Because when you're looking for a relationship, you're looking for someone who is giving you that type of energy that you're looking for, you're seeking. Because we all have our own type of energy that we have, our own wants, and then we go after and look for that person that can give us that need. So, and vice versa. So what we're doing here is, when we're talking about submission, a man or a woman should submit. You're going to have to actually understand what this is talking about. Because since we are all gods, no other god should be submitting to another god. We are equal. So why should a woman submit? See? So you have to understand what it's talking about. It's not talking about no physical submission. This is just talking about how we give our energy to one another, submitting to that flow of energetic waves, that heart. When you're connected with somebody, you feel your heart beat fast. When that person give you that electric current coming to you, that your aura, or that shock wave that person give from their bodies coming at you, and you be like, yo, I'm looking for that. And spirits does the same thing. There are spirits that follow you because they like the way your energy feels. That's how some people have spiritual guides with them, companions, spiritual companions, because that spiritual companion likes the type of energy you give. So that's what we're talking about here. Submission is, on the spiritual level, to accept and yield. So, of course, I'm not talking about the submission where you're afraid. You have to stop. You have to kneel your head, bow down. I'm not talking about that, because we're gods. We don't bow to another man. You don't bow to another woman. But, however, me understanding what a woman represents, when I bow to a woman, I'm bowing down to the greatness of what she represents. Okay? I'm not bowing down to the flesh. I bow down to what she represents as the portal womb to the primordial source of the souls. She is a big energy field. What she represents. I'm the sun generator, and I give that's why man dies faster, because man gives their energy off to the woman, because she basically takes what we give. But when I say, I bow my head to a woman, because I understand what she represents, but I'm submitting to the fact what she is as a woman. I'm yielding to that. Just like Kali and Shiva. Shiva had to yield to Kali. Adam had to yield to Eve. And Adam had to call a woman from heaven just to help him out. He had to yield to the fact that he could not do this. So Eve came down for him. And she looking down like, this Negro needs help. I thought he said he's a man. He could do this himself. Just like, you know how men do? Oh, we can do this ourselves. We don't need this woman here. Then Adam was like, I need help. Then what did Eve do? Like, nigga, I told you. So she came down and she became his helpmate. not someone to follow him from behind. She came down as a equal or better. Actually, she came down as better because she came and got the knowledge and gave it to Adam. All right. And not only that, in the story, in the Suda, how do you say that? Apocrypha, Suda Apocrypha, or this other stories. It's the story, the Adam and Eve, or the story of Adam. The Gnostics, the Gnostic text, the Nag Hammadi text. In the book of Adam, he even said that Eve is the great mother, and that birthed him and gave him the knowledge, because they were androgynous, because we were spirits up in the sky, androgyny together as the one, because everything's up above is feminine aspects, and it's not like a male and female as we see it down here. But that's deep. That's another thing. I'm not trying to get off on topic, but just to understand that the whole fact that the man, both these stories shows that the man submitted to the woman first. But he had to, because the man represents the flesh. The woman represents the spirit. And all this, it goes hand in hand with the whole woman needs to submit and cover up her head. Now, so I'm about to get into that. So 1 Peter 3:4-6, it says, "Let your adoring be the hidden person of the heart, with the imperishable beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which in God's sight is very precious." Now, this is talking about a woman being a hidden light towards the man. As you can see, the man always wants to be seen, and the woman is in the background. And these are how even the Hebrew camps does this. But they don't do it correctly, because they want to be they want to be everything, and the woman is just at the house. But the main thing is the man is seen and the woman is the hidden light. Now, here's a cross reference. This is Romans 1:23. And has changed the glory of the immortal. Wait, I did not write all the. I did not write the entire verse down. Basically, it says they exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images of mortal men. Okay, so that's what it is. So of course, God is you. They changed the image of the immortal God, because so this, when I look at that, when I read that, when I'm looking at the cross references, and I'm like, hey, there's a reason why they tied Romans 1:23 with 1 Peter. Now, if you read Romans 1:23, it's talking about idols and stuff, but it was cross-referenced with 1 Peter about the woman being the hidden light. So the woman is, of course, the primordial mother of the ether, the heavens. Even heaven is like a woman. So the wisdom is like a woman. The Torah is a woman. The voice, the creations, all that stuff. So she is the immortal God. Everyone had a mother God that started everything, or a goddess mother. And they replaced it with an image of mortal man, which is us, the male figure. So now you get all these other gods that are man and not a woman. So that's where Zeus comes in. You got the Hebrew God Yahweh. You know, all these gods who are seen as the patriarchs. And so basically, but the biggest thing is the whole Abrahamic religion. That's the biggest thing. That's what turned the immortal God, who was the woman, into a man. You see? But here's another thing too to back that up. So Gospel of Thomas, if you read the Gospel of Thomas, it said Simon Peter said to Jesus, Mary should leave. Women are not worthy to live. Now I believe they was talking about Mary Magdalene, because I don't believe that was Mary, the Virgin Mary, because it would probably say a Virgin, or it would probably state it. I'm not sure, but still, if that was his mother and Simon Peter saying, hey, you know, your mom got to get out of here. She's not worthy to live. I'm pretty sure them are fighting words. Anything you talk about your mama, them fighting words. So, but even Mary Magdalene was basically Jesus' concubine or wife, or, you know, I want to say concubine. They were together. Jesus and Mary represents the the male and female, you know, the balance. And Mary actually was the one who rubbed his feet, and that represents the root chakra. She was, and a woman always, in red being the root chakra, represents wisdom. She will bring wisdom to Jesus. So that's why you see Mary with Jesus, because she was bringing wisdom to him, and she took over. If you want to take this in a literal aspect, she took over after he ascended. So this all goes hand in hand. The woman is seen as the hidden light, so she must submit her energy towards the man, and the man is seen and the woman is seen as a man at that point. That's why the images of the immortal goddess is shown as a male, or these male goddesses have all these same attributes as the female goddess. And some of these female goddesses have way more attributes than the male goddess. So, like I'm saying, the woman is submitting to the man. That's why the whole Bible says woman submit to the man, because the world kind of took away the image of the great mother and made everything male. So the woman must veil herself to be the weaker vessel. So basically, she gives her energy to the man. Now, everything has to be equal. So the man giving his energy to the woman also. So when does this happen? Well, this happens in relationship, you know, when she make it home, the man is yielded to the woman. He must understand that he has to come home to her and to please her needs as well. But the woman influenced the man all the time in private. In privacy, the woman always influenced the man. So she is giving her energy, and then the man is giving his energy by going home to her. And the women take energy from man through sexual pleasure. And that's one way that, and because the man is the son generator, the woman takes, because her womb is endless needs, her womb is wide open. That's why they say the gates of hell is wide open, because her womb takes many souls. Your sperm have many tiny souls, seeds, And I'm not going to say sperm is the sperm. You get the idea. Sperm got through like little tiny microscopic things, and there's like millions of them going into the gates of hell, which is because it's sometimes it can be hell to please your woman, because she can keep on going, but you as the male cannot. You have to take a break sometimes. So, but that's how she gets her energy, through that, through sex, and from you coming home and then taking care of her after she took care of you. There's a little thing. So, but that's one biggest way she takes energy back. But and so same thing with the sun and the moon, and the earth. So the earth is the daughter, the sun is the man, the moon is the woman. The moon is the lesser light to the sun, but both influence the earth. But the moon influenced the earth more than the sun. So, because that's the mother. Everything goes back to the mother. Even children, when they get in trouble, they run to the mom. That's why the stars follows the moon, because the moon is the mother. It don't follow the sun. Technically, technically stars are all up there all the time. You can't see it, but I'm just saying, metaphysically, just metaphorically speaking, you only see the sun in the morning, and that's because it wants to be seen. That's the man. But then the man rests, he wants to come home. The woman pleases her man. She takes whatever energy she gets out of him, and then she good, But she always influencing him. So it's a exchange of energy. They are yielding and accepting. So the woman has to assure herself as, the woman is basically clothing herself, because the masculine energy wants to be seen, which is the flesh. Remember, the man, and then innerly, what this means is your flesh is the male aspect, and inside of you is the spiritual aspect, which is the feminine, the spiritual side, the creative side, the intuition. So, both are submitting and yielding to one another. Your flesh can't do anything without the spirit, and your spirit can do nothing without the flesh. So there's a balance. So the man and the woman submission is all about creating in balance spiritually. Now, physically, a woman cooking for her man, that's not submission. They're just being a good wife, if he's working. Now, if both of you are working, and unfortunately, how society is now, it takes both. That's why everyone's kind of out of whack, out of sync innerly, and there's really no spiritual growth with nobody now, because how society is, it tears everything down, and you can't focus on yourself. You can't focus on your spiritual growth, and everyone's is out of sync, out of energy, don't have nothing to give, So, but if everything's perfect, the woman can influence the man, and because she's the hidden light. When man goes out and do his thing, he got a good. That's why people say, "Oh, he must got a good woman at the house. Look how happy he is." Then when he goes home, he ready to please his wife, and that's where she gets her energy back from. A good man has a good woman at the house, and he always wants to come home on time. He never home late. He runs straight home on time, and she gets her energy back from him. So it's a transfer of energy, yielding and accepting and admitting, and it's nothing to do physically about putting on sheets and rags over your body. It's nothing to do with that. This is all about spiritual within, about yielding and yielding and accepting thought forms of energy from both people. So, and let me go ahead and finish up with the gospel of Thomas said. So Jesus responded after Peter said, "No, Mary can be here. Women can't live, don't deserve to live." But then Jesus said, I'll lead her in order to make her male, so she can become a living spirit like you males are. For every woman who makes herself male will enter the kingdom of heaven. And that's exactly what's going on. The whole goddesses, we had nothing but female gods. Then they made male gods with the same took different aspects of the female gods, and then you had the male, because man comes from a woman, and when you're born, everybody's a female. Everybody's a female when they're born until the last few weeks. Then the clitoris turns to a penis. Okay, so that's why you have your goddesses first, then your males, and your males just takes traits from the woman. That's why the women are gods of wars too, and you have gods of wars of females, and female gives wisdom, and the same thing as the males does, except the males don't do fertility because they can't birth. Unlike the Hebrew Bible tells you otherwise, and Adam came first, which is a lie. Adam is a man, so they said man came first. That's a lie. So here's a drawing of the star, whatever you want to call this thing. David, Solomon, Merkaba, but basically the female arrow goes down, the man go up. Adam looked up to the sky, and Eve came down because she's a spirit. Adam looked up. That's why Lilith wants to sit on top of the beast, because the man represents the flesh. Lilith rides on the beast. The great whore rides on the beast. She overcame the flesh, and she rides on top of it because she's enlightened. She's lifted herself up over the flesh, so she is conquered this. So that's the whole thing with Lilith. Also, the woman, and also Lilith represents Samuel aspect as well, where he did not want to bow down to Adam, because Adam represents flesh. These bodies are weak and frail, and they seen that was wrong for Yaldabaoth, the archons and all them, to put souls inside of these fleshful bodies. But that's another video. But that all goes into this. Lilith and Adam, all of them, taming the beast, taming the flesh. That's why you get your women, and that's why you get your succubus people like that, look like have dragons, have women, because they tamed the flesh, they tamed the dragon, and they combined themselves as one. So there's nothing to be scared of. They just are enlightened beings. Succubus and incubus, they're enlightened beings. This right here is the downward triangle also. This is the phallus. And when you drink from a wine, you're drinking the Holy Grail, the blood of a woman's vagina, which is transformation. The soul comes down to transform you into someone different. But see, this is the penis going into that. See, that's the vagina, that's the penis. But when you hold, that's what a wine glass is. Same thing with an ankh. The penis is going to the vagina. See? So the spirit, the woman sits on the beast. The woman sits